Is there anything more iconic than a pumpkin spice latte at the beginning of autumn? And I don't even like coffee. Hello everyone, my name is Katie Carson. I am the soap artist here at Royalty Soaps. And today we are making a pumpkin spice soap. I will say it's not necessarily latte because it doesn't really have any coffee smell in it whatsoever. But it's definitely got the pumpkin, it's definitely got the spice. It's gonna be your all-time fix for the coffee loving Starbucks drinking needs you have. Especially if you're trying to cut calories. You can get the fragrance without the intake. This is the #1 bestseller out of all of my autumnal soaps, like of all time. We just can't get away from the pumpkins and the spice. Also, may I just make a petition for the people that are always labeled as basic for liking pumpkin spice lattes and scarves? I feel so bad for those people. They just like the autumnal winter wear and a specific drink, and they get so much hate. There's so many legitimate things to be angry about in this world, and people drinking coffee is not one of them. Let us ban that from this channel, and hopefully other places online, because I see way too much of it. Let people drink their fall drink in peace. Anyway, now that I'm off my soapbox, let's make some real soap. Before we blend our lye water solution into our oils, we're gonna add a special additive into today's batch. It is pumpkin powder from Brambleberry. How fitting for a pumpkin soap. So, pumpkin powder is a little bit clumpy, as you can see in here. It's got some pretty big chunks in there. So, I ran it through a little strainer into a cup, and then I mixed it up with some of the soap making oils just to make sure that any of the clumps that might be left over get mixed in properly. So now I'm just gonna dump that into the entire container of oils. And now I'm gonna blend that up on low. Okay, so the pumpkin's completely blended in. Now we can add our lye water solution. There's going to be 2 colors in this soap. This is going to be a dark brown color because the fragrance oil discolors anyway, so we're going to work with it. And then this part that I'm pouring off will not be fragrance, so it will hold its color, which will be orange. I used green in this soap one time, and it just kind of looked out of place to me, especially because the smell is so warm, it's so inviting, and it smells really like a baked good, so the green just looks, you know, it just looks kind of like a plant, and it just doesn't look like it belongs. So into the first bucket, I'm gonna be adding some dark brown oxide. This is typically what I do when I'm trying to help a fragrance oil along its merry way. If you know it's gonna discolor to brown anyway, you might as well help it discolor evenly and not with just like little spots all around. It looks a lot better to just kind of color it first. For the orange color, we're gonna use a little bit of Aztec Gold and a little bit of Orange Vibrance Mica in equal portions. So let's blend these 2 up. Equal parts of Orange Vibrance with Aztec Gold is, in my opinion, the perfect way to get a true pumpkin color that's really orange, but not so orange that it looks neon. The best fragrance oil I have found by far is this Sweet Pumpkin Spice. As you can see, it does contain vanilla. It's from Crafter's Choice, or WSP, and let me tell you guys, it is the best. I have measured the proper amount into this part of the soap, and I know it turns white and turns a light color, but do not be fooled. It will turn very, very, very dark brown by the end of this. This is also a better performing pumpkin. I've used a couple from other companies and just other pumpkin scents that tend to accelerate your cold process soap. And this one does accelerate it a little bit, but if you blend it in by hand like what I'm doing right now, it is a lot more manageable and workable. Awesome possum. Let's pour into our molds. I am gonna put a nice bit of the brown color in there. We have a lot more of the brown than we do of the orange. I'm filling it a little more than halfway on this first pass. Now let's pour our orange color in here. We're pouring from pretty high. I'm gonna do maybe 2 or 3 passes. Come down here on this side and do the same thing. The rest of the brown I've put into a smaller pitcher. That way whenever I blend and mix, it doesn't look quite as gloopy. It'll just make the swirls look a lot better to pour out of a smaller container. Come back, put the last bit of orange in there. Last bit of orange on this side. And then I'm gonna scrapey my big container and my small container, and we'll put what we have left on top. This is what it ends up looking like on top after I have scraped all the containers and all the batter is in. So let's mix up the soap frosting. My soap frosting has set up, so I'm using white soap frosting today with this little tip that I got from Amazon. I've used it in quite a few videos. It makes a really lovely sort of icing shape. I'm gonna put 3 across each bar, trying my very bestest to keep them in the lines. This fragrance oil tends to warm up the soap batter a little bit, and that releases more of the fragrance into the air as it's sitting and saponifying. So I'm just smelling a bunch of pumpkin spice right now, and it is making me feel pretty great about my life. I think it might be the 4th year I've done it, maybe only the 3rd. I know I've done Autumn Walk 2 years in a row, and this will be the 3rd time. I think I started making this one the same time I started making Autumn Walk. I'm gonna start over here on this side. It's a lot easier for me to mark out the soap by doing one side first and then filling in the other side and then the middle, especially when I'm trying really hard to stay within the lines. I have quite a few embeds for the soap, and I really want to be able to cut it with Evangeline. For those of you who are new around here, Evangeline is my multi-bar cutter. She makes my life so much easier. Recently I've had to do a lot of cutting with the single bar wire. It takes a lot longer, so I'm trying to be even more careful this time round. Okay, let's fill this in. I went ahead and put that second layer on, so now I'm gonna put the final little dollop on top. I've tried to make them sort of flat on top and not angled very much because of all the embeds that I have to put on there. Yay, now for embeds. The embeds I'm using on top are little mini pumpkins. You can get a mold for these at 2 different places. One of them is called Vanilla, and then the other one, I can't remember if it's like Molds USA. I don't remember the name, but I'll find it online and I'll leave you guys a link for both of them down below. I believe they're made with, and I hope I'm pronouncing this right, Putka pods. I don't know if those are like little mini pumpkins, but they're made based on a real gourd. Like they're molded with a real gourd, which is pretty cool. And then I have just rolled mine around in some orange mica to make the dimension really stand out. I'm gonna alternate with putting 2 and 3 on each bar. I like to do this because I think it adds to sort of the uniqueness of every single bar, because every little pumpkin looks different and then every little bar has different amounts of pumpkins on them. Makes it look like a real pumpkin patch. And like I said before, I'm trying to place these very specifically so that I can cut them. It feels like I have a million of these to put on. I've been asked a lot if I'm gonna make any spooky Halloween soaps, and I am gonna be very vulnerable with you guys right now. I don't make things that are like horror inspired or spooky because I'm scared of them. Like, I cannot watch horror movies at all. Anything with ghosts or paranormal activity and stuff, like, I cannot handle it. It gives me nightmares for weeks. Your girl can't do it. So I feel like it wouldn't be very true to myself to make soaps of things that I don't even watch. There are a ton of soap makers out there that make really spooky, really interesting Halloween soaps. So if you're interested in purchasing one of those for Halloween and stuff, there are so many soap makers out there that like to make those types of creations. I will leave some of the soap makers that I know do down in the description box below so you guys can get your spooky soap fix. But like I said, I kind of have to remain true to myself, and those things freak me out. So you won't be seeing any spooky things from Royalty Soaps. I can barely, again, I'll just be totally real with y'all. I can barely watch Tim Burton. There's some of his movies that I I can't do. Coraline is one of them. Like, I didn't sleep for weeks after watching that. I can watch Alice in Wonderland. I really liked Alice in Wonderland, but even as a kid, I remember when James and the Giant Peach came out, and I was like, nope, 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 nope. I hope there are some people out there that can relate to me, because I am the only person I know that is like this. Like, everyone in my friends groups like to watch all the scary movies and all the thrillers and stuff, and I just can't handle it. And everyone is like, Katie, come on, don't be a weenie, but I just can't do it. So I hope there are other people out there to make me not feel so alone in this. It's a big wide world. Surely someone else is scared of Tim Burton films. I cut one of my big piping bags into something a lot more manageable, and then I put a teeny tiny tip on it. This is an Atico #2 tip, and I'm gonna use this to create some pumpkin vines. So I'm gonna start on the side here. I'm gonna squeeze a little bit, and then I'm just gonna go in a zigzag motion, and then into a little curl there on the side, and I'm gonna do this all the way down the soap. It's a really easy thing to do as long as your piping is liquidy enough. I did not color this particular bit of the piping recipe. I held it off to the side, and then I colored it after I had stuck all the little pumpkins in so it would stay nice and fluid until I was ready to use it. I'll try to pipe the opposite way over here so that you guys can see it really well. I'm just gonna start zigzagging it down, and then, whoopsie, it'll look something like that. Once again, I'm having to lean over and look at it, which is not the easiest thing to do. Just snake it around the side and come up. There we go. So I'm gonna do this for all of the soap bars, and then we will come back and I will put some of the leaves on. Okay, so I have moved one of the soap loaves out of the way so that you guys can see the top of this one really good. I've changed the tip to the leaf tip. This is available in the kit at Nurture Soap. And I'm just gonna take some time to add some leaves on top wherever I think they need them. Instead of making little round leaves, I'm trying to make sort of big leafy leaves. I don't know, because that's more accurate to a pumpkin patch. They don't have those cute little round leaves. They kind of have those big fluffy ones. I've actually grown pumpkins a few times at my parents' house. They're really fun and really easy to do if you live in the right climate. That's how I'm connecting all the little pumpkins together. Might put two on this one here. Put a little one right here, little one right here, maybe even a little one right here. If I don't like the way that they're connecting to the soap, I'll cover that up with a leaf. I think this one looks a little wonky. Put one on there. I think this one might need one right here. Awesome. Okay, so I'm gonna continue to do this down all of the soap loaves, and then I will bring you guys in for a close-up so you can see the finished bars. No glitter on these, by the way. They need to speak for themselves. So this is what the pumpkin spice soap looks like, all up close and personal. You can see the little vine bits on the side. There's a little leaf there too. And then on top, we have the leaves kind of pulling everything together, and then some more little vines on the side. My favorite pieces are always the end pieces for this one because I can pile a lot more leaves and vines on there. And the smell is still coming through really strong. So I'm gonna let these guys sit for 18 to 24 hours, and then we will come back and chop them up into bars after this quick commercial break. We are back the next day to cut up the pumpkin spice soap. I haven't lined it up and I'm not entirely sure that I can cut it with this cutter yet. Okay, I think I can do it. I'm gonna press down gently and hope for the best. All right, it cleared great. I think there was only one leaf that was minorly damaged on the end. Gonna pull off that end piece. Look at that, so cute. And then pull one for the middle for you guys to see. This is what it looks like on the inside. Now you can probably see that dark brown rim around the outside. That is what color it's gonna look after it has completely discolored, like this. This one has been sitting for a little while longer and it has already oxidized with the air. Man, the pumpkin scent is so good. It's very, very strong. And the swirl is really defined on the inside, which I so appreciate. And I can see the little flecks of pumpkin in there too. This is just one of my favorite bars of the whole year. The question of the day is, do you like pumpkin spice? This is referring to the smell, not the taste. I know pumpkin spice is in different sort of coffee blends and different baked items, but I'm just talking about the smell. You can let me know by clicking the eye in the upper right hand corner of the screen. Also, this sort of looks like a face. Is anyone else seeing that? Just me? I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, please give it a big thumbs up, subscribe to my channel, leave me a comment down below. It really does smell like so fantastic, so pumpkin spicy. It's delicious. In the spirit of inclusivity, do something fun for yourself today, whether that is going to get a pumpkin spice latte or wearing Ugg boots and a scarf out in public. Do something that makes you happy, and I will see you guys soon. Bye for now.